How to use AI for real estate agents. If you are a real estate agent, now more than ever, you need to stand out from the crowd. The industry is changing in a big way. It's time to buckle down or get out. One way to stand out from the crowd is to leverage the power of AI. The following video is one of 20 videos in our free course on how to use AI for real estate agents. In this video, we will cover how to create a killer lead magnet ebook that you can provide to potential buyers moving to your city.
All right, everybody. In this video, we are going to create a killer lead magnet for real estate pros using AI. So step number one, if you haven't already, sign up for ChatGPT. I'm using ChatGPT 4, the paid version. It is honestly much better than ChatGPT 3.5, which is the free version. Plus, there's some additional apps and things that you can use as far as for creating images and whatnot that are available in ChatGPT 4. So, assuming you're using ChatGPT 4, you can try this with 3.5 if you want. I think you'll get a better product if you use 4. Okay, so step number one, sign up for ChatGPT, copy and paste the following prompts into ChatGPT. And incidentally, you can download this document right below this video here. I've done all the heavy lifting for you. So what I've done is I've gone into ChatGPT and just experience, just came up with a list of what are the things that somebody would want to know when moving into a particular city. And from that list, I created a series of chapters. Now let's talk about what a lead magnet is here first. Most of you probably know what that is, but it's something that you can give away of value that you can give away for free. And the best lead magnet that I've found is for real estate is to create an ebook on living in blank, whatever your city is, living in Seattle, Washington, living in Jacksonville, Florida, wherever you are, creating an ebook on moving into that area that you can give out to someone for free. So that's what we're going to do here. What we're going to end up with is I ended up with about a 60-page ebook. We'll show you how to do a book cover and save it as a PDF and the whole bit. And then in later videos, we'll talk about how to get this out and how to market this to people. But it's a very valuable tool that, someone moving into your area that's never been there and doesn't know a whole lot about it. This is going to give them a lot of information, very useful information that they can have. So download this document down below. And what you're going to do is anywhere here where it says your city, just to keep this simple, let's replace that with your actual city. So I'm going to use the find function in Google Docs, and on a Mac it's Command F. I'm not sure what it is on a PC, but you're just going to type in your city, and everywhere that it says your city, we're going to go over here to the three little dots, and we're going to replace that with your city. So let's do one for Seattle, Washington. You're going to put in your own city there, and I'm going to hit replace all. Okay, so now the document is set to your city. Okay, so prompts, first page here. So here's the prompt that you're going to copy. I want to create a free ebook for people thinking about moving to Seattle, Washington. I'm a real estate agent, and if you're a real estate investor, then put that in there. Want to offer my services to help them learn about the area and make their move as smooth as possible. To start, come up with 10 different name ideas for the ebook. Make the ideas pique the reader's curiosity and entice them to want to read the book. I'm going to add something here because I'm a big Russell Brunson fan. I think he's one of the greatest marketers of our generation. So I'm going to say write it in the style of Russell. How do you spell that? Brunson. And let's see what that does. It's telling me I spelled it wrong, but I think that's right. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go over here to ChatGPT, and we're just going to start a new chat. Get that out of the way. And I'm going to paste that in there. And let's see what happens. Crafting engaging and curiosity-piquing ebook titles, especially for those considering to move to Seattle, Washington, requires tapping into the unique aspects of the city as well as the needs and desires of potential movers. Drawing inspiration from Russell Brunson's captivating and direct marketing style, here are 10 ebook titles designed to attract readers. I mean, how cool is this? Let's see. Let's pick one. Seattle Unveiled, Your Insider's Guide to Emerald City. I like that. I'm just going to use that first one there. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a document here, and this is going to be the framework for our ebook. So I'm going to copy. I'm just going to use this first one. Oh, and incidentally, if there's of these 10, if there's not one you like, just write in try again. You could. This is called prompt chaining, and it'll just come up with 10 more for you. So, but I like that one. I'm not going to overthink this. So what I'm going to do is here, I pasted the title in here. I'm going to just go and use the tags here, and I'm going to call this title. I'm going to insert a page break. On the page break, I'm going to say table of contents. Oops. We're going to call that heading 1. We're just kind of creating place markers here. I'm going to insert another page break. And so this will be chapter 1 here. Okay, so, and we'll come back to the table of contents once the book is done. Okay, so back to our document here. Now create an introduction to the ebook, letting them know about it. The book will contain information about moving to the area, resources about the schools, information about neighborhoods, blah, blah, blah. Also invite them to subscribe to our YouTube channel at blah, 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 whatever your channel is. If you don't have a YouTube channel, you should. If not, just take that out or put your website in there too. Okay, so we're going to copy this. We're going to go back to Chat GPT. We're going to say paste. And we are rolling. Introduction to your guide to embracing Seattle. Embracing Seattle. What is that? I might change that. There every now and then you got to read through this stuff. Every now and then you'll see an error. And as far as facts go, you know, every now and then you'll get some facts that this thing isn't 100% perfect, but you know what? Don't overthink it. There's a saying that we've always used, and that's done is better than perfect. Okay, so now that I've got this introduction down here, I'm going to go down here and just hit this copy button. I'm going to go back over to my blank page. I'm going to paste that in. Okay, so I usually take those little asterisks out of there. So now we're going to use the tags again. So up here under the normal text, we're going to use, we're going to call this a chapter. So any chapter I'm going to use heading 1. Any subchapters, I'm going to use heading 2. And if any lists, I'm going to use heading 3. And you'll see what I'm talking about here. So, and I'm even going to call this 1, Introducing Your Guide to Embracing Seattle. Okay, so read through this. Make sure it's what you like. At the end, I'm going to insert another page break, and we're going to go on to the next prompt. Next, write a chapter about the history of Seattle, Washington, starting from the beginning and ending at current day. Include some fun facts about the area and keep it light. You can also add things too. You can add stuff to this, like, between 750 and 1,000 words or something like that. Now, some of you may be prompted, well, why don't we just say write an ebook? Um, it has limitations. I found you have to do this by chapter, or it just takes up too much. I don't know, takes up too much bandwidth. I don't know. It can only write so much at a time, so that's why we're having to break it up into chapters. But still, this is still a much more economical way to do this. So I've pasted that in there. We're going to write a chapter about the history of Seattle. Chapter 1, A Journey Through Time, the Story of Seattle. Welcome to the captivating tale of Seattle, Washington, a city that has transformed from a lush, densely wooded area into a bustling metropolis known as the Emerald City. I mean, how great is this? I don't know about you, but I am not really good at creative writing. Okay, I like what that came up with there. I was trying to read along with it, but so we're going to go in here. We're going to paste this in, and we'll call this is chapter 2. Get rid of those. We're going to call this heading 1. Now, here's where I will do the subchapters in the beginning. And you can do this at the end if you want. I found it's just easier to do it kind of as we go here. It's up to you on how you do it. But each one of these little guys, I'm going to call these heading two. And the reason we're doing this is going to help us with our table of contents, and you'll see at the end if you haven't done this before. If you have, you probably know exactly what I'm getting to here. Excuse me. Okay, so we've got to the end of that chapter. I'm going to do a couple of returns there, spaces, and we're going to insert another page break. And we're going to go on to the next prompt. Now write a chapter about what the city of Seattle is primarily known for. Include some fun facts about the city. So we'll go back and we'll paste that in. And as you start to learn more about Chat GPT and what we call prompt engineering, I mean, feel free to modify some of these as well. You can add certain things to it, how the style of writing you want. You can add things like how many, how long you want it, how many words, that kind of thing. So but this gives you a basic framework, and these are the exact prompts that I use to create my my lead magnet here, and I was really happy with the results. So feel free to change it though. Okay, so we're gonna copy that, we're gonna paste that in, we're gonna call this chapter 3. Be sure and proofread this stuff, though. It's not 100% perfect. I'm sure there's a way to just copy the format of this, but I'm not smart enough to know how to do that. Heading 2. 2. I'd normally take out those asterisks there, but I'm just trying. I don't want you guys kind of get the idea here. Okay, so next chapter. Insert a page break. Next, write a chapter about relocating to Seattle. Talk about the benefits of the area. Talk about 7 popular neighborhoods. All right, once that's done, we're going to go back in, paste that. You're going to set your heading types in that. I think you guys get the idea here. It's just rinse and repeat. I do want to run through these though. Okay, so we've got the about relocating. Next, write a chapter about the weather in Seattle. And once again, all of these prompts are things that people that are moving to the area are going to want to know. So we're going to write a chapter about the weather, best times to visit Seattle, what to expect in the 4 seasons, provide some data where appropriate. Next, write a chapter about food and entertainment in Seattle, use statistics where relevant, write the article to someone who's moving to the area, keep it fun and informative. Now write an article about 10 popular restaurants in the Seattle area. Write a short description of each restaurant and information about the cuisine. I want to try this one here because sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. At one time I tried to do this on another ebook. It said that it couldn't come up with the 10 most popular restaurants because of its data was not up to date. Now these large language model AI the technology, what they do is they pull information from various sources throughout the internet, and some of I believe that Chat GPT 4 was populated in 2022. Don't quote me on that, but maybe some of the restaurants have closed and whatnot. So let's see what happens here. Okay, it's doing it. Awesome. What it said is that our information is not as up to date, so we can't come up with 10 popular restaurants. But here's it. So it came up with 10 basically fake restaurants. Okay, so if it doesn't come up, if it tries to give you sample restaurants, what you could just go to Yelp, Yelp.com. You may have to populate this yourself if this is the case, but hopefully it'll do it for you. Or maybe you have a favorite restaurant or two that you want to add to the list. Just use the same format. Top 10 best restaurants in Seattle. Just pick them, just do it that way. But I'm glad to see that it actually is spitting out that information. Okay, so you guys, again, get the idea. I want to just go through, make sure there's nothing else here I want to cover. Now write an article about the top 10 nightlife activities in Seattle. Again, it may or may not do this. If not, just delete that chapter. Now write an article about the culture in Seattle. Next, write an article about shopping and amenities. Be as detailed and name 5 popular places they might want to check out. Now create an article about the top 10 outdoor activities in the state. Keep it fun and lighthearted. Give some information about each activity, location, and contact information as possible. Also include an approximate distance from Seattle, Washington to the activity. Tell the reader why each pop activity is popular. Keep it light and fun. Now write an article about the demographics. Now write a chapter about the, and I don't know why I went from chapter to article, but it's, in fact, I'll just change that there. It does this. It spits out the same thing. Make it fun and informative. Write it to someone who's moving the area. Next, write a chapter about the cost of living in Seattle. Next, write a chapter about the job markets in Seattle. Next, write a chapter about healthcare options in Seattle. Next, write a chapter about public transportation in Seattle. Next, write a chapter about the challenges that Seattle faces. Keep it objective and lighthearted. Next, write a chapter about the crime rates in Seattle. So we're not all just giving them just, sunshine and roses here. We want to we'll be upfront with them and talk about the crime rates and things like that. Next, write it. Now you can use this one or not. I added this one in kind of at the last step because it didn't really say a lot about the homeless issue in Seattle. There is definitely a homeless issue in Seattle, like there are in a lot of major cities. So I added that one in there. Now create a checklist for someone moving to Seattle. So this is to the point where we get into the checklists now. So I don't know if you want to kind of consider these as the appendices of the book. I wanted to make sure also include items about researching the real estate market at your website. So it's kind of a call to action there, and then inviting them to learn more about the city by going to your YouTube page if you have one, which you should. If not, that's a whole other story. Now create a list of all of the primary school districts in Seattle. Now create a list of utility companies that operate in Seattle, include power companies, gas companies, garbage, recycle. Include their phone numbers and websites for each company. This is very helpful when they move. They have a nice list of everything right there. Now write a closing chapter recapping the benefits and challenges of living in Seattle. Entice the reader to want to move to the area. Also let them know that I am here to help them and provide a clear call to action at the end of the chapter. So let's just do that one just for fun. As we close this guide to moving and living in Seattle, Washington, it's clear that the Emerald City is more than just a backdrop to its iconic skyline. I like that iconic skyline. I'm going to use that in a second here. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, I'm going to stop that just because sake of time. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to use DALL-E to come up with a photo. So create an image of Seattle, Washington with, I'm going to change that. Seattle, Washington's iconic skyline with Mount Rainier in the background. So this is going to be something that you can use for the cover of your book. So go back to ChatGPT, go up here to image generator. You can do Explore GPT. Here is DALL-E. They're changing this quite a bit. So your screen may not, depending on when you're watching this video and when I recorded it, your screen may be a little bit different. But look, you're looking for image generator. Okay, I'm going to hit paste, create an image of Seattle, Washington's iconic skyline with Mount Rainier in the background. Bang, look at that. So if you don't like it, hit try again, come up with another one. The one thing I like the orientation of that actually for a book cover. Yeah, I mean, who needs to pay an artist when you've got this? I mean, how cool is that? So download that image, save it to your computer. Next thing we're going to do, we've got the image. Now, so here's an example of the image that mine created for me for Olympia, Washington. Now go to Canva and create a book cover. So just go to Canva, just type in book cover. It's got all sorts of ones here. You can just do the Canva free account. Find one that you like, use a template. One that you can, I've got that picture in mind, like how that thing's going to fit in there. That might actually work there. A lot of these two are the pro versions, so I like to look for the free versions. You can add filters. So add the free versions, hit apply. So anyway, find a book cover you like, throw the picture in there. You've already got the name for it picked out. And then at the end, this is an example of the one that I created. Oh, real quick too, incidentally, go back to your thing here. So you're going to paste your photo in there, your table of contents. So if you go here and you hit insert and all the way at the bottom, you also want to go down here in the footer and add page numbers. Okay. So you can insert a table of contents in here as well. Just go up to the insert menu there. The table of contents, and if you need to Google how to do a table of contents, just Google it or YouTube it or whatever. But table of contents, it is, if you make any changes, there's several different options for the table of contents. But this is why we put the headings in there. So the first one is the introduction. So when we went through, when you're fine tuning things here, and we put this as heading 1, we put this as heading 2, heading 2. So this is why we use the headings, because then when you go in and create the automatic table of contents, it will kind of make everything look nice here. If you do make changes, add pages or something like that, you can always right click and you can hit update table of contents. So now you've got on your first page, you've got your book cover that you created in Canva. On your second page, it starts the table of contents. And this is the finished product that I have. You can go in and put pictures and stuff in here. You can hire a virtual assistant to go in and make this look prettier. I felt that, what, the information is more important. So I just you just put the headlines on everything and called it good. But came up with 61 pages here of a really nice lead magnet that someone that wants to move to my city can use. And it took about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour with the editing and stuff. It probably was about an hour to do. So there you go. That's how to create a killer lead magnet. Then you go up here and just file, and then you're going to export just by hitting the print button there. Okay, then it'll pop up on another screen, and then I'm going to just save it as a PDF. And there's your lead magnet that you can hand out. And again, we'll talk about that's the other thing too. When you print it as a PDF, the table of contents, they can go through and navigate to it as well. So Embracing Olympia, it'll jump right to that particular chapter. So you've got a nice lead magnet with a call to action at the end of it, with a closing paragraph. And in another video, we'll talk about how to disperse this and get it out there. See you next time.